What's up? So today we got a movie review to we got a movie to review. Today I'll be reviewing Kamen Rider 01 versus Kamen Rider GO or Kamen Rider first reiwa first generation. So yeah, this movie, almost an episode because I'm always watching 01. There's always an episode. This movie starts off with a dream with a random sparkle of light that turns into Aruto's dad. And in the past, Aruto is talking about how what does Aruto dream for, and he says about Kid Aruto says about how he wants to make his dad makes his dad smile, but Aruto's dad says there's no way robots don't have hearts, and he's like, yeah they do. So then we see a random voice say, "True all humans," and then boom, they break down and it begins and kills Aruto's dad. Then we see regular Aruto wake up from this nightmare and realizes that he's late for work. He's late for work. So he decides to get on Ride Hopper and drive to Human Intelligence. But he also mysteriously sees some kid human gears that he's never met before in the show. Which technically, since it does take place after episode 9 of 01, and yeah. So anyway, Aruto gets there. Aruto gets there and tries, and he isn't allowed in. Mamoru inspects him, and Aruto is arrested by a bunch of Momorus. He tries to call Siesta and tell her if this is all a security drill, but she decides to tell him that Aruto is a wanted terrorist. That's when a random guy shows up and tells them how he's the president of Hidden Intelligence. But Aruto's like, duh, he's the president. But then the guys see, and then he looks and sees that guy's face mounted on the wall. So then we cut to the Geo portion, where after the series finale of Geo, Sogo rewrote everything to make everyone decided not to become king of the world and decided to live a mundane life and rewritten the world. So now everyone thinks they're high school students. Now Gates and Tsukuyomi thinks they're high school students. So Tsukuyomi talks about how she has a long name and it's gonna be a lot of time pronounced in this movie. So she thinks that the world's ending and what would happen if it does. Gates starts talking about how he had karate practice. But then they realize that they're late for school. So then they go into class where a bunch of human gears are teaching on how to destroy humanity. Then they discover Tsukuyomi and Gates, and obviously try to kill them because they're humans and this is a human gear class. So then it goes into an all-out fight. It's kind of funny that Tsukuyomi tries to hit a human gear and is like, sorry. It's funny. So that's when they're saved by Waz. Sorry, that's Waz's engine jingle. It's kind of cool. They're saved by Waz, and he literally tells them that their memories are starting to return to them, and Waz and Gates and Tsukuyomi return back to their normal resistance, return to what they look like, what their costumes look like before the world was reset. And then we see Sogo starting to do that as his Geo Ride Watch glows. Then we see Aruto getting kicked out of the Hidden building by the guy and all of his people. They say about how how they're the company of, how they're the human gears of Heathen, and then he pulls out another 01 ride watch, and it's like 01, and Naruto's like 01, and he's like, I am 01, and Henshin's into another 01, and so Naruto decides that he wants the Henshin too, and gets out his 01 driver and his rising hop progress key, jump. Dun, dun, dun. And Naruto realizes that the hopper isn't there. So once he does it, the hopper reveals that it's actually under the concrete. How? I don't know. And it just bounce. So it goes bam, bam, boom, bam, 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 bam. Henshin. Alright. Jump and rise. Rising hopper. Jump to the sky, turns to a rider kick. And then 01 and another 01 get into a fight, but Naruto realizes that he's slowly losing his power and can't even slash another 01. So another 01 kicks him to his side, damaging Naruto. He takes Naruto's 01 driver, but Naruto takes his 01 progress key. Meanwhile, in the jail portion, I'm just going to call this jail portion before we get to the crossover. In the second half of the jail portion, Tsukuyomi is talking to Waz and says about what's going on, and he says, I have no idea, but there's text in here that says the first rider of this new era will destroy the world. So now they're thinking, first rider destroying the world? Who is this? It's obviously trying to make it look like it's gonna be Naruto, but who knows? But anyway, yeah. So Naruto's watching were done by that guy. His name is Will, and he said, yeah, which is kind of funny, Will, and he says about how human gears live in, and now now he wants the human gears to join them in a future where humans will be eradicated. Naruto sees a bulletin about how he's a terrorist and how he needs to be arrested, and he runs. That's when he's spotted by a bunch of hacked human gears who turn into Magia, the monsters from 01 season, and they attack him. That's when he's saved by alternate Fua and alternate Yaiba, who save his life. Fua basically blames him, saying about how his family caused all this, but Fua's like, but Yaiba's like, hey, we should be fighting the human gears, not the humans. So, yeah. So, Naruto's like, and then he hugs Fua, and Fua's like, get off me, and he's like, oh, right, we've never met before. So, yeah, so they drive to their base, where Naruto's reunited with his Izu. Yes, not alternate Izu, the Izu from his timeline. And, and she says, welcome back, bro. So he's like, Izu, what's going on? She's like, the time has been rewritten to make it that the human gears rule, that they look like, to make it look like the human gears have taken over the planet. Meanwhile with Will, he's in his office, and it looks like they're selling like a bunch of drivers and belts from the actual 01 season, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see, but yeah. So they're talking. When they're attacked by fashionably styled Hirobi and Jin, who turn into, of course, Kamen Rider Jin and Hirobi. But boy, in this alternate timeline, do Hirobi and Jin and Hirobi pick really good. Really good fedoras and costume. Naruto's like Mitsubo Jinrai, and then it's just like that Mesopotamia is a terrorist group that makes sure that humans are eradicated for peace. Isn't that just like, yeah, isn't that just like their normal timeline? So yeah, so that's what, and Yaiba does some really good shooting. Like, I love alternate Yaiba. She's such a good shooter. And alternate Fua also does some really good shooting. Bow, 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 bow. So yeah, so that's when Will showed up and decides to go 0-1. But that's when a random person gives Naruto a Force Riser. Force Riser. And he uses jump. Force Rise. To turn into Kamen Rider 001. Yeah. Instead of 01, it's 001. So, I don't know. Again, I don't know. But anyway, Naruto fights another 01 until he's knocked into a corner. They say Will says another 01 tells is about how she's a traitor to all human gears, and you know what happens to traitors, and that's when before she can be attacked, Naruto takes the strike for her and is defeated. Meanwhile, Hirobi and Jin are being Fua and Yaiba lose their Vulcan and Valkyrie powers and are about to be stopped. When, meanwhile, with Naruto, he's about to stop when he's saved by Gio. Gio's in his Geo mech form. And he's like, and that's when, but Fua and Yaiba are about to be attacked when they're saved by Gates in his mech form. In his time machine form. So, yeah. So what happens is that, so they decide to basically go back and they decide to be like, hey, why don't we go back in time and discover what really is the cause of this? So yeah, so they go back to 2007 when the human gears wore headphones instead of the modules. And yeah, and we meet, so they decide we meet Kurenosuke, who is by his assistant Will. Yes, in this timeline, Will, in this era, Will was the assistant to Naruto's grandfather, Kurenosuke Hiden. It's kind of interesting, Kurenosuke, because in the main 01 season, when the show starts, he's already died, so it's kind of cool to see him actually do something in this movie, because we barely know him as a character. We all know, the only thing we know about him in the show is that he created the human gears in the movie that kind of give him more of a depth. It's kind of cool to give him more of a character, because all in 01, we all know that he died and he created the human gears. So, yeah. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah. So Naruto decides to go, and they find Naruto's dad with Will. Yeah, they decide to go, and they find a bunch of random human gears. Boom, boom, boom. And then we see a random Kamen Rider named Kamen Rider Ichigata, who questions why Naruto has a driver, and so they get into a fight until it's revealed that Kamen Rider Ichigata is the 2007 version of Soryo Hiden, Naruto's father. And Naruto said about how he gave it to him, but he's like, I have no time for this. Meanwhile, Will meets with Soryo, and Naruto discovers him and is like, Dad, why are you teaming up with Will? Yeah. So yeah, it's revealed that So yeah, as Soryo is hacked by the Ark, and it's slowly turning into the Ark. So he leaves. That's when a time jacker from Geo sees it, gives 2,000 Will. Gives 2007 Will. This is another 01 reiwa. So Naruto confronts his dad over trying to launch satellite Arc into the sky, but that's when Will shows up and is like, by the way, Naruto, your dad's not trying to do that, I am. And turns into a Kamen Rider, another 01 once again. This version turns into Kamen Rider, another 01. But that's when Soryo reveals his own Kamen Rider, reveals his own Kamen Rider power. Kamen Rider. Cyclone Rise. Rocket Hopper. Type 1. And they get into a big fight. Naruto decides to resolve his power by turning into Kamen Rider 001 once again. Meanwhile, Sogo and his group run into Time Jacker. Venus? I don't know. Who reveals that it's revealed that they only rewritten time because they knew that if they did that, Omajiro, who is the main bad guy of Zio's season, and in his future Sogo, would come back and try to rewrite the time, try to fix the timeline. But then it reveals that it has another Ichigo ride watch and transforms into another Ichigo. Which, guess what, is a big CGI monstrosity. And tries to fight them. So Sogo pulls out a 01 ride watch and the 01 Trinity ride watch and fuses with Sogo, with Gates and Waz to form Kamen Rider Geo Trinity. Which is kind of cool. Meanwhile, Naruto is fighting with his dad. Meanwhile, Naruto and Soryo are fighting against Will when the Arc satellite finally launches, destroying Soryo's plan and hacking Soryo and turning him evil. And he fights Naruto. And he says, come on, smile with me, father. But he's like, until you surpass me, your dream will not come true. Meanwhile, another 01 shows up and kills Kunosuke. Will shows up and kills his boss. So Naruto and the gang decide to go back in time, back to 2019, and they say, and Naruto asks, where is Iz? It's revealed that present day Will had captured one of the resistant refugees and holded the kid ransom, so Iz decided to sacrifice herself. So Will is holding a press conference to basically be like, hey guys, we should murder Izu. We should murder Izu. But that's when Naruto's like, yeah, no, we shouldn't, because I have a dream, and my dream is the reason why I became 01, Kamen Rider 01. And then that's when Izu flashes back to the past moments of the series of the episodes of 01 and tells Naruto that her dream is to live alongside him and live his dream of making people smile. And boy, did that get me emotional, because I love these two. But anyway, so then they decide to be like, hey, let's kick Will out of office and put Naruto back in. Even though before we totally thought he was a terrorist, I guess they don't think that anymore. Before they were trying to arrest Naruto for him being a terrorist, but now they want to put him back in office. I don't know. I guess it's to make the movie go long that they just forget about them trying to arrest him and now want him back in office. Meanwhile, everyone decides to vote against Naruto. That's when Soryo Hiden shows up and is like, yeah, no, I don't want Naruto in chair. I want Naruto in power. And they decided to say the same thing. Until you surpass me, your dream will not come true. So then the Will freaks out, turning all the Humagears in the audience into Magius foot soldiers. So he gets Shista and Izu out of there, only to be run into more Humagear control people run by Hirobi and Jin. That's when, meanwhile, so they get into a big fight. Hirobi and Jin confront Gates, Waz, and Tsukiyomi, and Shiga Henshin, and they turn to counter Tsukiyomi, Gates, and Waz, and fight off Hirobi and Jin. So Aruto decides to finally face his dad. Jump! Kamen Rider! Henshin! Rocking Hopper! Rising Hopper! So they get into a big fight. And Aruto and his dad fight a bit. Until they do their big rider kick. And Soryo reveals that he wasn't actually under Ark's control the whole time. He was just faking to make Aruto's dream come true. So literally, you fake being under our control. You literally sided with the bad guy you literally sided with the main villain and not wanting Aruto to be presidency just to make Aruto's dream come true. If you want to make Aruto's dream come true, why? I guess he did it to make Will think he was on his side, but why did he fight his son? Will wasn't even there. Soryo. I know you're not our Soryo because our Soryo's dead, but you make no sense, bro. But, Vulcan and Valkyrie finally kill Will, and everything finally returns to normal. But before that, Aruto and Gio finally decide to team up together to face off against another Ichigo, who is fat. And Naruto even uses all of his different forms. I even said he's probably used Breaking Mammoth, and he does. Still press Breaking Mammoth. And then they use their rider kick to finally destroy Fenris, leaving the reality, restoring the reality back to normal. So Gio says about how, so after all's done, Waz is like, hey, you and Izu get to keep your memories. But then Sogo is like, yeah, no, they shouldn't keep their memories. So then so then it's Jump versus Shio. And they get into a fight to end the movie. It's literally, So then we get to the post-credit scene. The post-credit scenes start off with Izu and Aruto. And it's revealed that Izu is the only one that remembers Aruto's adventures, because I guess Gio won. But also I revealed that Gio also had his memories erased of the events of the movie, because he starts feeling that he's starting deja vu. And then Waz is like, hey guys, thanks for joining the movie, but what will happen to Tokyo Sogo next? He will appear in one more movie, and then I don't think ever appear again. Yeah, because Sogo does have Kamen Rider Gates Majesty, so I think that's his final movie. Yeah, but anyway, then we see a shot between. So then we see regular Hirobi and Jin talking about how they want to eradicate humanity. How the humans have no idea that their extinction is coming. Then we see Fu and Yaiba talking. Fu is talking about how he turned into a human gear, and then Yaiba mentions about how what if it was reversed? And she was a human gear. He tells her about how he would destroy her. Then outside the Daybreak town, we get the introduction of a mysterious gold Kamen Rider. Who is he? Find out in the show. Why is he here? He tells us that the arc will be revived, but why is he here? Why is this gold Kamen Rider here? Why is he on top of the? Why is he on the top of Mesero Jinrai's hideout? I don't know, but this was reiwa the first generation. So I gotta say, this was maybe my favorite movie ever. I loved all the character interactions. I loved Izu and Naruto. Sogo and Naruto kind of made it very good, even though Sogo and Naruto didn't like make Sogo and Naruto didn't do anything until like the end of the movie. They were just, for some reason, they didn't fight together until like the end of the movie. And Will was kind of a good villain. I kind of liked the whole thing, how you didn't know that you didn't know what was going on. You're like, what's going on? Why is everything changed? And it's revealed that Will killed Kurenosuke Hiden and took over Hiden Intelligence and liberated the world where only human gears remain. So, but I wonder, why was Naruto a terrorist? Why did Shista in the first part of the movie, she tells him you are a wanted terrorist. But then later on in the movie, she's like, oh yeah, since since it's called Heathen Intelligence, will allow the Heathen to take over. Okay, how'd you go from, oh, you're a terrorist, to now we want you as the president? It's never explained. Like, that was in the same time, that was in the same era of 2019. So how in the first half did she go from, I want to kill you, Naruto, to now I want you to be the president, Naruto? I don't know. Like, they don't explain it. Like, no one, like... And I thought Soryo was a good character. It was kind of interesting seeing him pretend to be... He was a hero, but then he was pretending to be a villain just to then reveal he was actually a hero the whole time. He was just faking. But why did he fight Naruto? Yeah. What, like... It's weird. First he says so if it was faking, why did he vote against Naruto? Why did he fight Naruto if he was faking the whole time? He said it was for Naruto's dream, that he wanted Naruto's dream to become he wanted Naruto's dream to come true. But did that really excuse for you fighting your own son? I don't know. Is there anything, if you want me to review the actual Zero season, the Zero or Zero One season, tell me in comment below. Because I would like to actually review Zero, watch and review Zero, or watch and review 01. Because I like 01, and Zero kind of had a good start. I kind of am liking 01, and I kind of liking Zero. But anyway, yeah, if you want me to review any of those shows, please tell me. But I'm back in reviews and react. I remember, so you don't have to jump. Hajin. Progress, jump and rise. Rising upper. A jump this guy turns to a rider kick. Rider time. Kamen Rider. Armor time. Kamen Rider 01. That'd be so funny if I gave him a 01 ride watch. If at the end of the movie Ardo has a 01 ride watch, that'd be so cool. But they didn't give it to him. We didn't even see him in the fight. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for, I don't know, a next reaction, a next review. If you want me to review if you want me to review either Kamen Rider 01 or Kamen Rider Geo, please tell me, because I would like to check out Geo, because I'm currently watching 01, but if you want me to review 01, please tell me, because I love it, and I love Naruto. But anyway, please tell me. Peace? Or, Naito.